Hello everyone, my name is Imperius and welcome back to Eviternity II. Today we've got map number 28 in a direct continuation from where we left off of map 27. This is a much shorter level, a bit of a pocket rocket compared to the first two levels of this this particular episode. But do not let that fool you, this one has got some teeth to it. It just bites for slightly less time than the others. And we're going to start off by going up this little cliff. I don't think you can get back to this area, so make sure you get what you need from it now. And then we're going to drop down. We're going to do a bit of running around. We're going to try and wake as much stuff up as possible. Grab the plasma, but ideally not too many cells. So we've got some weapons, and then we're going to run straight into this little fortress area here. Now, that A serves to give us the weapons, but B also helps to clump up some of the enemies at that little entrance to the fort, which hopefully will get them to infight a bit. We can also come here to this little window, shoot that skull switch, and that gives us access to a BFG. Oh yeah, those guys can get in here, I forgot about that. It's alright, we're only 1 minute 20 seconds into the level. Now I like to do this because, well, I find it enjoyable for the enemies to kill themselves, partly. There's a sense of satisfaction from watching them do the work. But also, I feel that ammo is quite tight on this level. Again, kind of why I was purposely dodging some of the cell packs earlier on. I think there isn't really much space to this level. There's kind of like the area that's out there that you can see behind that mancubi, and the adjoining area which leads straight to the exit. Which, so floor space wise, that's actually not that much, but there's a hell of a lot of fighting that goes on down there. And I think depending on where you position yourself and you kind of get boxed in, you can absolutely run out of ammo. So I think trying to get them to kill themselves as much as possible helps with that. You're going to see it again a little bit later on when we do pick up some more cells. We're going to pick them up from the very back of the arena first, so that we can take them in a way that is helpful to us while positioning a little bit later on. But we're not really concerned with that at the moment. At the moment, we're going to go through here and do this sort of fort area first. We obviously got plenty of weapons, plenty of ammo. Health and armor's okay. So let's get stuck into it. I like to run to this back corner here to kill the mancubi and the purple things. And yeah, we're just kind of cleaning up. There will be an archvile that spawns in here a little bit later on. Now, those zombie men, I mean, I guess you can hit them with auto-aim, but they feel like they're very far away. Top tip, if you're ever missing a kill or two by the time you get to the end of this level, it's probably one of those dancing zombie men on those pillars. Certainly what I found when I was practicing this level. In fact, that might have even been an ultra-violence issue. I don't think it was Annihilate Me. I'm fairly certain this is my first actual attempt at this level on Annihilate Me. It's quite short compared to the others, so there's less time for you to fuck things up, which I just think makes it slightly more straightforward. Not easy, straightforward. Now, one of the parts that's not so straightforward is this upcoming fight, which can be a real clusterfuck. So we're going to push the button, we're going to try and wake stuff up. I don't really want to waste all my BFG ammo, but there's a very good chance I'm going to have to. I want to get that archvile, and we've got a lot of astrals here. And we still didn't kill him. That's bad. Yeah, and don't worry about running out of this arena back into the preceding area, because there is an archvile there. Although I guess if you kept your BFG ammo, maybe you could try that. I just don't trust it with those Astral Cacodemons. I actually think working within the confines of 100 health and green armor, that wasn't too bad. Like that, it was bad that I wasn't able to kill that archvile with less BFG ammo. That's true, but the rest of the fight went quite smoothly, relatively speaking, compared to how badly it could have gone anyway. That's my yardstick. Yeah, and as you can see, now that we've done that area, we've actually triggered something that's kind of repopulated this area. Again, it's like there isn't much floor space to this sort of central area, but there's a lot of fighting that goes on here. Now the instinct is definitely to pick up those cell packs, but I don't recommend you do so. Nice job, Imp. I don't know if these imps are repopulation or if they were here when the level started. Either way, this is the exit over here, and this is where I'm going to grab my cell ammo from, because the way I play this level, I'm realistically never going to get over to this area until everything's dead at the end of the level. So grab it now while you can is my advice, not financial advice. So now we're going to go through this door up here. It's going to net us the blue key. You might have seen in the middle there was like a little altar that had a blue and a yellow switch. Not too dissimilar from what we had in the previous level, thematically at least. And that's going to kick off the final fight. It's going to summon a necromancer at the exit. Yeah, there'll be a good amount of killing to do. I mean, we're pretty well equipped for killing. Which is good, because this is also a pretty tricky little fight. So it starts off with revenants at the back here. There's always more teleport in than you think. So just make sure you get them all. That's like 8, 9, 10. And then they start coming from the other side as well. Now if you can block them off, you can switch back to the rocket launcher. But I don't think we're going to be able to achieve that in this run. Again, I probably shouldn't have picked up those cells. I should have gone back into the area at the beginning if I really wanted to min-max it. But I think we'll be okay. Ah yes, there they are. Well, hang on, where is he? He's up in the start area. And he's dead. Right, there's quite a few of these that are going to come in, so we're going to try and draw them through this little tunnel. Again, just to funnel them in, make them a bit more easy to kill. You do want to come back out and kill all of these enemies once you press that switch with the archvile and the revenants, because you don't want to be running into this final area preparing for the final fight and then having all of these guys sort of come at you from behind. Just an optimization that comes from knowing the enemy placement and knowing their triggers. Right. Now up here. I find this guy pretty tricky to kill because of this weird corner. And I don't think the enemy can walk over that bridge. That was... Oh yeah, there's two of them. There we go. And that'll take us through to the blue key. Right, now we can go to the exit. Although we've got another wave of clearing enemies out to go through first. More astral. One thing I think they could have done, not necessarily should have, but could have done on Annihilate Me is remove the BFG from the BFG secret. I don't think you really need the BFG for Annihilate Me, and it might have shaken it up a bit more significantly than it plays on Ultraviolence if they had taken it out. Just food for thought. Right, now there's a secret here, and that will lower us Soul Sphere. There is another secret, which is pretty hard to get actually, which is a jump across to some blue armor. So that will give us 200 for the final fight. I think there's even another blue armor that I didn't pick up yet that we can use as well as a backup. But yeah, I did it first try. Let's go recorded run. And then here's the Soul Sphere. That's what the switch behind the altar did. And now 600, 600, 200, 200. We're looking pretty good. We're going to press those switches and then we're going to run back to the start. And there's the Necromancer. Now this is the other reason that I like to make my stand here in this opening area. It allows you to funnel the enemies in this little hole, this little cave, which is good. But it also draws them away from the other side of the map, which is where the exit is, which is where there's a very tricky to hit Necromancer standing, which means his little ghosts won't proc their resurrection, the enemy's resurrection. These things, honestly. And I can free look. Yeah, you're gonna have no chance if you're gonna try and just hit the traces off the middle. You need a railgun. That's why it was invented. There's more cells up here. And did I leave a green armor down here? I did. Very nice. Where do you come from? So just a little bit more cleanup to do, and then we've got the Necromancer at the end, and then we're done with the level. There's got a lot down here actually. So I'm going to try and push up here and kill this Necromancer now. But it kind of didn't work, so we're going to retreat. Try again. Resupply. I was kind of hoping there were some medkits still here, but there's not. That was a panic press. You can see we've gone from 358 to 366, so there's definitely been some resurrections. But with only 3 enemies left, I'm not too concerned about BFG ammo at this point. Just want to kill this guy. And there we go. They're not actually that tough. They don't have that much health, those things. For a boss enemy. More than a Spider Mastermind, but not as much as a Cyber Demon. And there we go. Map 28 After Image done and dusted. Hope you very much enjoyed watching that. I certainly enjoyed playing it, and I'll see you in the next one.